Hello, we're the Smart Cookies, and today we're going to be showing you the math, programming, and what over 1,200 hours of teamwork can produce.
I'm Nick, the master builder, and I worked on the lift table but have the privilege to introduce you to our star. Her name is Alice. She's an amazing artisan, logic-based, incredibly innovative CNC embellishing robot. Alice can embellish almost any 2D pattern, including cookies, hot dogs, ice cream, coffee, and she's a great barista. Alice is a very practical machine. She works right now. She fits on your kitchen counter, she's easy to program and use, and people have even already asked for kits. I'm Maria, and I... Testing.
Maria, the microphone's coming.
I created the designs on the cookies and programmed the HMI.
Welcome to the Smart Cookie Club. Today we have robots and
To the customer through voice and display. Through voice and display. We use switch blocks and random numbers so that the robot doesn't say the same thing. We just sent a Bluetooth message to Cal to go get a vanilla cookie through closed loop.
Hi, I'm Daniel, VP of Logistics, and I designed our AGV Cal. Cal uses a lot of driving math to do dead reckoning maneuvers, and it uses line following, and it uses light sensors and programming to do line following. For the dead reckoning maneuvers, it uses the circumference of the wheel to calculate how many rotations are necessary for the desired distance. For turning, it also uses the circumference of the wheel, but it also uses the wheel spread, or the distance between the wheel. Now, for line following, there's a switch block that tells the robot to go slightly right or left, depending on the surface that it is on, and it keeps going through this process until it reaches red.
Hi, I'm Nikolai, the chief designer. I did 3D modeling, built Alice's structure, and worked on programming the trick-based functions. After homing on the limit switches, Alice waits patiently for the cookie to be delivered. Notice how the HMI immediately starts up when the cookie is delivered. This is an example of closed-loop Bluetooth communication. I'm going to pick a spirograph since those really demonstrate trig. At first we started simple. We started by drawing sinusoids of hot dogs, but then we got fancy, since the spirograph can be simplified into just 2 trig functions. And we modeled it after planetary gears, as shown there. And that my block shows all the math.
I'm Nick again. This black plastic is called energy chain. It keeps the wires from getting tangled in the moving parts of the machine. We used a 5-to-1 gear ratio plus a rack and pinion to generate plenty of force to lift the cookie relative to the extruder tip. All the math and programming is shown here.
I'm Matthew, Director of Applied Mathematics. I did all the math concerning how fast to run this extruder, as well as being responsible for Bluetooth and files. First, we have to determine how fast the froster exits the extruder. In order to do that, we need to know 4 things: the driven gear ratio, the pitch of the extruder thread, the diameter of both the extruder and the nozzle tip. After that, it's a simple matter of conservation of volume to determine the ratio between motor turns and extrusion distance. This my block here does all the math to determine how fast to run the extruder, taking into account XY power, tip size, and overdrive.
Now, you might be wondering how we did all this. Well, starting June, we had over 60 class periods of over 3 hours each. And if you count all the independent learning we did at home, well, that's a lot of hours. We had a lot of fun with the math and the programming, and it was great how everyone helped each other out.
We love Robofest!
Now I can answer all your questions.
This seems to be very complicated. So how long So how do you first come up with this idea of
Did it taste good?
Oh no, I'm always thank you so much.
What was the biggest challenge you guys had as a team?
Probably actually working on the Robohit robots as well. We had to balance them out at the same time, which is actually really hard.
Yeah, I'm sure.
We all kind of did. We worked on Bluetooth files, running like X to the next one, and